Well, if you thought that Saint-Pierre and Miquelon played for the Habs, well, you're wrong. They're islands off the coast of Newfoundland that are territories of France. They're also the setting for a new CBC cop show. Coming up next, meet the stars of that series. Hi again, Bill Brio here. Thank you for joining me on this episode. And this is another one. It was taped live and in person from the CBC's 2024-25 Media Upfront in May in Toronto. Several new series were presented there, and this one, Saint-Pierre, is a cop show premiering in 2025. It's currently in production right now in the island of Saint-Pierre off the coast of Newfoundland. So it stars the busiest actor, producer, writer from St. John's for over a dozen years now, Allan Hawco. I first met Allan when he launched Republic of Doyle in 2010. Since then, you've seen him on Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan, Departure, Frontier, Moonshine, and Sullivan's Crossing, to name a few. Here he's producing and writing, as well as starring, as Donnie Fitzpatrick, a cop who digs too deeply into a local politician's activities and winds up banished to work in Saint-Pierre and Miquelon. There he's paired with Hawco's co-star on the series, French actress Josephine Jobert, who many here would probably recognize her from the BBC series Death in Paradise. Now, it may seem like these two cops are working a cushy beat on this island paradise, but a lot of international criminal activities have washed up on these idyllic shores. Please welcome, here they are to describe and explain, Allan Hawco and Josephine Jobert. Congrats to you on Saint-Pierre. I've been to Saint-Pierre, I was telling Allan. A couple of years ago, there was another Canadian show, Hudson and Rex, that did an episode there. And I had never been and knew very little about Saint-Pierre. And Miquelon, is that how you pronounce? Yeah. And my joke, of course, is what crime is happening here? Are the pastries gone stale? Is there, is a Quebecois accent legal? But it's going to be a cop show, obviously.
I have thoughts about these things.
Have you? Yeah. So
the pastry is very serious over there.
Yes.
Impossible to get unless you're there at 6:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
So the setting of Saint-Pierre came about from a scout I did over there for Critch, because we did a shoot day over there.
Okay.
Season 2.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
And on the scout, Janine and Perry wasn't with us. Janine and John, Mark, a couple of other people. We went over and we were scouting for Critch, and I was sitting at the Rustic, the bar over there.
Yeah,
they do like a patio in the summer on the road.
And we were French.
Yeah,
very French.
No, I found that the gendarmes that walk around.
The real deal. Yeah. So we're sitting out there having a beer at the end of the day, and I just saw it right away, and I went on to develop it with Perry and then eventually Robina. So the idea of this Saint-Pierre is very much in a way that the Doyle used Newfoundland. It's like a fictional version of the Saint-Pierre.
Right.
Obviously, the gendarme, the level of crime over there in real life is zero, but so is Newfoundland. And let's be frank, Toronto crime compared to Toronto cop shows, they don't really add up in the same way.
Right.
But this one is a little more heightened in that it's like almost like a gateway into a different world.
So a little more international.
Exactly. Right. Because it is Canada, it is Newfoundland, and it's not at all.
No, it's France.
Technically, France.
It's France, but it's not really. It's weird. Like everybody was like, is is this French to you? I'm like, it is, but not really. It's a new world to me too as a French person. So it's really specific. It's really unique.
Yeah.
Saint-Pierre, unique vibe, unique scenery.
And will we hear French spoken on the show?
Yeah.
And will it be subtitled or will it just be bilingual?
Yeah. No, it's subtitled.
Okay.
Because Fitz, my character, comes into this world from a set of circumstances in his professional life. He arrests the premier, and it goes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Of Newfoundland?
Yeah. And it goes viral.
Nice.
Because it's filmed on and there's a twist to all that, but it goes viral, and everyone thinks.
Who plays the premier?
Eric Johnson.
Okay. Right.
Long story to that, connected to Fitz's past, but it goes viral, and his boss is like, "We got to get you over there," because they were going to do a cadet exchange, and she's like, "I'm just sending you over there for." And so he goes, and then he is introduced to Josephine's character and a fictionalized police force. We're not using the gendarme,
Right?
Because in our world, it's the gateway to Europe, and everything that could. So in real life, the gendarme are only allowed to be there for 3 years.
Right.
Each cop has a 3-year limit.
And the residents as well are cycled in and out, aren't they? Every couple of years.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
but there are locals too.
Yeah.
Of course, like 6,000 people there. But the cops, though, are not allowed to stay for longer than 3 years. And no locals are police. It is only people from France.
Wow.
And you'd imagine the reason for that is because it could become a fiefdom pretty quickly.
Right.
So in our show, there are no limits. There are locals,
Right.
and a fiefdom does exist.
Okay.
So it is not the reality, or could be maybe if you uncovered stuff. I'm not interested in exposing a docudrama about the realities of crime there. But in our world, these guys and their police department, the Saint-Pierre and Miquelon Police, is a department that Fitz joins. So within that.
So we're going to see stories where bad guys are trying to sneak stuff into Canada, the U.S. through Saint-Pierre and Miquelon. It's sort of like an entry or not.
Yes and no, but not plot every episode. So the plot each episode is we're really leaning into we're leaning into the BritBox style of procedural,
Right.
place, Shetland, Broadchurch, but it's episodic.
Right.
Each case is, some are local, but most are foreign, from the outside world washed up in the shore. It's not necessarily about smuggling in any way.
Okay.
That might be happening as an undercurrent with some of our characters.
Yeah.
But the case of the week is traditional and serious, far more serious in tone than anything I would have done on Doyle.
Oh, okay.
It's
Well, you mentioned that in the presentation today. Did you write the Bible? Have you written this first script? Great. Wow.
No, we're shooting. We're in the middle of shooting the first 4.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, we've been playing partners now for 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Don't go away. We'll be right back with Allan Hawco and Josephine Jobert. Well, what's new this month on Super Channel? Well, giddy up for the 11th season of When Calls the Heart, found exclusively in Canada on Super Channel Heart and Home. There are, of course, many burning questions from last season's shocking finale. School teacher Elizabeth, Erin Krakow, she's saddled up with her Mountie man Nathan Grant, played by former Brio TV podcast guest Kevin McGarry. Can these two ride off into the sunset and still manage parenting obstacles, huh? There are plenty of other obstacles to unravel as Hope Valley heads into the 1920s. Hardys and McGarrys can look forward to 12 new Season 11 episodes. And don't forget, all 111 binge-worthy past episodes are available on Super Channel On Demand. Remember, Super Channel, an all-Canadian service, is available via most cable providers across the country, as well as streaming live and on demand with Amazon Prime Video channels and Apple TV Plus. You can also check out Super Channel Plus, available now on the Roku platform in Canada. And here they are again, Josephine and Allan. Now, I mean, it's a very charming place, but as you say, you've got to expand the geography because there's about 10 streets.
It's bigger than you think.
Is it?
How long were you there? 3 days.
I was hardly there. Yeah, I wasn't there very long.
It's quite easy to get turned around there, more than you think. Way, way more. But we are fictionalizing it.
The part I thought there's a harbor area. There's very colorful buildings. I know that we had lunch at you
had lunch at the Happy Place, I think.
Well, it was like the local YMCA, not like it was a community center.
Oh, the soccer community center.
Yes,
yeah. And we haven't even seen that.
Okay, so a chef, there was a French chef who was brought in, and it was quite an experience. But okay, so there's more to it than I know. Obviously,
it's easy to get turned around there.
Yes.
It's a lot. I mean, we shot there for 9 days, and we didn't scratch the surface on what's possible.
Okay. Well, it's like the ideal movie set, then, isn't it?
It's a backlot.
Like if you go to When Calls the Heart in Langley, BC, these guys have spent 10 years building a village. But you have one that's been built for you, kind of, right?
Yeah, it's like it was meant to be.
Yeah.
One day we filmed on an island called Île Marin, and we arrived in the morning, and we took a little boat, and it was really foggy, and all these little houses, very colorful. I was like, is this for real? I mean, is this like reality? Because it looked like a movie set. It looked like it had been created for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very impressive. I mean, and the vibe was very special. It was very quiet because there's no cars on the island. Yeah. So, and on screen, it looks phenomenal. The colors, the architecture, the little houses. People will be like, does that place really exist? It's a set. It's not possible.
What's it like to live there? I mean, do you miss certain stores or restaurants or,
to live in Saint-Pierre?
If you're there on location shooting, you're kind of, you're going to be maybe not have as many choices in terms of things, but I guess you're so busy working.
Yes, we work from all day long, and during the weekends, I just go and work out, and I learn my lines, and I read the scripts all over and over again. So I didn't get the chance to really discover the island, but I think next time we'll be going, I'll take more time. Apparently there are beautiful hikes you can do, and take a boat and travel around the island. So.
I remember hiking to a lighthouse on there. There was like a garbage scow thing attached to it. Right?
That's the dump.
Yeah, the dump. Exactly. I thought, who put the dump next to this picturesque? It would be like in St. John's if they took, put a dump right next to the tourist attraction.
They did.
I know.
They did in Newfoundland. It's Robin Hood Bay. It's one of those beautiful bays in Newfoundland, and it's our dump because you're like, they gotta put it somewhere. Right? Because every corner you turn in Saint-Pierre, there's a beautiful bay.
Yeah.
There's so I've been over there now. Here's a fun bit for you. John Batcher, who you were over with, who directs our first block.
Nice.
And produces with us.
Yeah.
John and I met on a movie called Making Love in Saint-Pierre 20 years ago.
Really?
The 20th anniversary was but the year we were going over for the Scout when I had the idea.
Right.
On the boat, on the way over, we took a Zodiac over. I was looking at John. I was like, how long has it been since we were here? He's like, 20 years ago this year.
Amazing.
I was like, that's crazy. That day, or then that night is when I had the idea for the show.
John, 2-take Batcher.
Sometimes, or one take.
Yeah. Okay, John, 1-take Batcher.
But one good take.
One take that never
excellent
cuts.
Take.
I admire John. I watched him work, and when he shot the dog show, because it was getting cloudy, might rain.
That's what you want. You need that.
Yeah, he was amazing outside. It was really cool.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. Really quick. And,
Tell me more about your career. So you've lived in Quebec for many years?
For 8 years.
Yeah.
I moved there with my mother and my stepfather when I was 12.
Whereabouts?
Montreal.
Oh,
Montreal in the suburb.
Okay.
Greenfield Park.
Where's that?
Greenfield Park.
Greenfield Park.
Yeah.
So
it's
is
not
that
that far. It's
near
like,
the Olympic Stadium?
oh my God, it was so long ago. Not
Okay.
really. I couldn't even,
My daughter lived there for 14 years. There's a picture of. She went to Concordia.
Okay.
And I used to love visiting her. That city is awesome.
It's a beautiful city.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I had the best time.
Great restaurants.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Nice people. I mean, when I moved there, I was furious because I was 12 and, leaving all my friends behind.
Yeah.
I was like, Mom, you ruined my life. And I was like crying every day and screaming, I hate you. But, it was the best decision she's had ever made for me.
Did you come, whereabouts in France were you?
Paris.
Oh, right
Based
in Paris.
Yes.
My goodness.
Well,
wow.
same in the suburbs, but
Okay.
yeah.
I've been to Saint-Denis. No, oh my God. Been down to Cannes and Nice and things, and at the top, crossing the channel in Dieppe. Fascinating place. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Really, really enjoyed it.
France is a beautiful country.
It is.
Beautiful.
Yeah, extraordinary.
Yeah.
Now, so how many episodes we're talking about? 13? What are you doing? 10, okay. And what do you have? You can't have a cool set of wheels. There's no cars over there. But there's no GT.
This is a different show.
I know.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, I know you're joking, but from the creation perspective of it, and the character and their true partnership in terms of we're barely in a scene without each other, and if we are, we're usually dealing with something the other one has done. So it's like it's a true two-hander in that we're co-leads, and that was the design.
Well, given that, so when you're casting this show, it's very critical to get the right person because you guys are going to be
make me.
Yeah.
How did this happen? Yeah.
We just talked about this, and Josephine literally made me break down in tears. She was so she said such beautiful things, but I had to leave the room.
I can say it again.
I know. I don't want to take it away from you.
What I have to say about it?
Please.
Can I say one thing first?
Okay.
It is so the
I'd rather listen to her, but okay.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what you have to say. I know what
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I know you're kidding, but I was just saying the division of duties in terms of characters, like their dynamic is different in that she is like she has this quality. This character has a quality of she comes from this background, studious, detail-oriented science, but she's really a door kicker and comes from this undercover world and detail, but he's really quite it's not like stereotypes of it. He's really procedural in his approach, and they kind of like they become one cop. So to answer your thing about the car, like that's more Arch drives in every scene we do. He's a passenger.
Okay.
And that wasn't on purpose, but it fit. When you see it, it makes more sense.
Okay.
It's not a punching show anyway. It's not a jumping punching show.
Right.
There are some of that. There is some of that.
Yeah.
I should say, but the dynamic of it's really investigative.
Right.
It's more old school.
It's not the Rockford Files.
No, it's
BBC.
Yeah. It's Prime Suspect and Cracker and Shetland and Broadchurch.
Do you have those pictures on the door of the writer's room?
No, they were DVD covers that you remember.
Yeah.
They were the DVD covers that we had.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Because he came to Seth.
Yeah, a couple times. Yeah. It was awesome.
Anyway, I'm trying to deflect from where you're going.
Now, tell me about what you said that made him cry.
Well, when you start on a new show, a new project, you never know who you're going to work with.
Right.
You can you can be lucky, you can be not so lucky. I've been through difficult experiences before.
Sure.
But the last audition I made was on Zoom. We did a Zoom call. I think everybody wanted to see the chemistry that could happen between us. And
that to me is fascinating. How do you project chemistry over Zoom? Yeah, right.
I don't know.
It's actually better than it's better than it used to be in the room.
Yeah.
Really? Because in the room it was a 2-shot.
Yeah.
And you're sitting like this, and you're like, "Ooh, they have chemistry," and it's on a video. But now it's
more intimate if you're apart.
Now we're too close-ups.
Yes, yeah.
Interesting.
I could talk to him and look at him in the eyes. I mean, on screen.
Wow.
And I don't know. I saw his face appearing on the screen, and I liked him like right away. I was like, I like that guy because I can feel people. I have that thing. Right. I got it from my mother. But even through the screen, it's like I had a good impression, like a good feeling. And we did the scenes together. And so we said, okay, goodbye, thank you. And he said such good things. You said, I don't remember what you said, but you just thanked me for what we just did. And he said he had nice words for me. And my parents were waiting for me downstairs. They were like, so how did it go? And I was like, I think this is for me. I think this is it. We had a good chemistry. He's a really good actor. He has a good vibe. I really want to do this. I really want to do that show. And, not 100% sure, but I was like, I think it's for me. I think it's going to be a yes. Nice. And when I met him, it felt so natural. Yeah. He's a beautiful human being. And as I said earlier, he wears so many hats, like writer, producer, actor, and he's very humble. And he loves what he's doing. He respects the people he works with. And this is really rare sometimes, He wants to make sure that everybody's happy, everybody's comfortable. He's like a kid on set. It's like a kid at
loves what
Christmas
he does.
times. Yes, yeah. And I think it's priceless.
Yeah.
So for me, working with him is just pure happiness. Wow. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, today's going to be a good day. No matter what happens, no matter if it's cold, if it's raining outside, if we're tired, it's going to be a good day. And you see how people interact with him. It says a lot about his personality. Yeah. Everybody's so respectful and so happy to see him. Well, so I mean, he's the best. I'm always happy to see him. So you see, we hit it off really good when we first met too, and I worked really hard to make him humble. Yeah. Thank you, because you did a great job. Honestly, he's a beautiful human being. Yeah. Well, and I feel blessed. Well, that's awesome. Yeah.
More with Hawco and Jobert after these short messages. Well, time once again to speak with Emily Gagne from Hollywood Suite. Emily, what do you got for us this month?
Well, Bill, I've got some incredible series. I know that we're known for movies, but we actually have series, if you didn't know, and there's some great ones coming this month, including Mr. Bates versus the Post Office. Have you heard of this series, Bill?
Mr. Bates versus the Post Office?
Yes.
No, what's it about?
It's about the UK fight with the postal workers and the government, and Toby Jones stars in it. It's a really incredible true story. And if you know anything about it, I think you'll enjoy it. But if you don't know anything, it's just an interesting true story that I think is really going to captivate you.
So nothing to do with Norman Bates.
Norman Bates is not in it. No.
All right, good.
No. Okay. This is a different Bates. Gotcha. A little bit less killing, nice. But still a lot of drama. And it's coming to us at the end of May 28th. There's going to be like a 2-night premiere, but you can also stream it if you're more of that kind of person. All
right. Well, another series? What else you got?
Yeah, Until I Kill You is our other big series right now, and it is a world exclusive, so you can't watch it anywhere else. Oh. It's a true crime drama, so if you're into that, I think you're going to love it. I'm not going to tell you anymore because I don't want to spoil it in case you know the true story, but Until I Kill You, our viewers are loving it, and I think potential viewers will love it too.
Until I Kill You. Wow.
I know.
Worldwide exclusive on Hollywood Suite starting right now. Fantastic. All right. Thanks, Emily.
Thank you, Bill.
What's new this month on Paramount Plus? Plenty, as usual, topped by the season 3 return of The Mayor of Kingstown. The tense drama stars Jeremy Renner as Mayor Mike McCluskey. This season, the Russian mob is after him. Good luck, Russian mob. Not even getting crushed by a snowplow could stop this guy Renner. The series was created by Canadian actor-musician Hugh Dillon, who returns as a podcast guest in June. Also this month on Paramount Plus, don't miss the documentary Cyndi Lauper, Let the Canary Sing. She was always way better than Madonna, I say. Plus, she sang the Pee-wee's Playhouse theme song. My goodness. Anyway, learn all about her meteoric rise to fame in the 1980s. I remember it well. Plus, for something really different, look out for My Son Jeffrey, the Dahmer Family Tapes. This documentary features recordings between serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer and his father, Lionel. Finally, Transformers Earth's Park. The original season 2 premiere is coming up, and here's a chance we get to meet a new generation of Transformer robots, the first to be born on Earth. Weird Al Yankovic and Red Hot Chili Peppers bassist Flea are among the guest stars. And remember, there's a mountain of entertainment on Paramount Plus. And we're back. Have you played a cop before?
Yeah.
In what?
Yeah, it's not my first time. In a show called Death in Paradise.
Oh.
It's a UK show that we filmed in Guadeloupe, another French island. Wow. That's really different from Saint-Pierre. The climate is different.
So you're just traveling the world where there's French.
Yeah, solving crimes around the world. But the vibe of that show was very different.
In Haiti next?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. And I did another one. I was playing another, like a detective, but it was nothing like Saint-Pierre. So, when I read the script, I was like, okay, so I'm about to do like another police show. How's it going to be? As an actor, you always want to, do different things. But when I read the script, I was like, okay, this is completely different from what I've ever done before. Mm-hmm. Like the character, the tone, everything. I was like, I'm in. This is brand new to me. Because it's not about a police show, it's about characters.
Right.
Yeah.
How soon into this interview on Zoom did you know we had just cast our...
Get this. So you mentioned the Bible earlier.
Yeah.
So Pitchstock sent Pitchstock, sold, CBC bought it right away.
Yeah.
Got to work on developing it. I worked with the development team there. Put together a Bible. Bible had pictures. We picked a bunch of pictures, trying to find the dynamic. Robina and I were working with a very specific idea that Arch was a Black female, but right from the get-go. So we were finding images of people to go with someone who would represent me and someone who would represent Arch.
And why was that creative decision right from the start?
Well, Robina is a Black female, and we didn't want to be... I didn't want to be a white writer who picks, they can be anything to get a show greenlit or some shit.
Right.
So we're like, no, we're making a stance in terms of, and we're doing it organic. It has to be organic. We have to make people, and underrepresented people need to organically live in this show in a way that you shouldn't even notice, because that's not what this show's about. It's about people doing things. So that was kind of a part of our mission statement.
Gotcha.
But as we were putting together the pictures, and I didn't realize this until after Josie was in Newfoundland in my presence, that we had a picture of her in our Bible from Death in Paradise that I completely forgot about.
Wow.
And so so we knew right before we met her.
Yeah.
And then the minute that we saw that she had read, we were like, okay, this is the right thing. And then you go through the many different hoops. And then we did a chemistry read together. And the second we started talking to each other, we weren't acting.
Yeah.
And I'm really, as a performer, we haven't talked about anything from a character perspective, I wouldn't do that necessarily with you anyway as a writer, because Robina and I share the same brain on the whole thing, but we haven't talked at all about anything. And it's there in every take we do. And it doesn't matter what she does or I do or what we plan. There's none of that shit. It's like, and there's an arc in the story that's written, and we're both just sit together and without having spoken barely at all as human beings. And we were on camera, and it is there.
Have either of you had experiences like that before?
Not like that, no. Had amazing experiences. I'm sure you have. Not like that. We're very similar actors.
I've rarely seen it. One show I did see it was, Billy Campbell and
In Cardinal.
Yeah,
he's apparently the nicest human being too. It's like her generosity is like, you said a thing. We had dinner one night before we started working for a couple of hours. The last time we've had dinner alone, because we don't have time to hang out. And you said, we were talking about stuff, and you said the line, "I don't like to have hate in my heart. I do not have hate in my heart for anyone." And I was like, I believe her.
Well, if you're working in television and can say that.
That says. I went back home and told my wife.
It's not easy everything.
No, it's not easy.
I'm not saying it's easy. But,
Yeah, it's for you.
But you do the work. I went home and told my wife that. I was like, I think this is more right than I could possibly dream of.
Wow.
That line is like, represents my experience with you thus far. It's like all the crew, and they're a great litmus test for us.
Yeah.
You get a read. These are my crew that have been with me since Doyle.
Yeah.
A lot of them did Rex for years, and now we're all kind of back together. A lot of us have been a lot of new people.
Yeah.
People I've been grabbing on the way from other shows. But Ian is our DP, Ian Batcher, John's son.
Oh, really?
He was on that movie set 20 years ago too, as a kid doing B camera.
Oh my God.
And started B camera on Doyle. Moved, now he's our DP, and he's brilliant. Anyways, you watch people deal with Josephine, and you watch people what she leaves them with when she walks away from them. It's like, truly is a miracle.
That's great. Well, there they were, Allan Hawco and Josephine Jobert, and we'll be hearing more from them as the series draws near. It won't be airing until 2025, probably early in the new year. But in the meantime, thanks as always to the man who polices things here at Brio TV, the podcast, producer Phil Hong. Give it up as well to BJ Del Conte and Paul Boudreau and all the crispy critters, as well as piano man Stephen Dudley. All these guys, many years ago, they recorded this music you hear on this podcast. Finally, thanks to you, listener. If you enjoy the conversation, let me know. Write a comment or pop a like or any of those cool things that you can do at Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Bill Brio. Thanks for listening.